From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
What a wild day yesterday. There was the wind, there was the much needed rain, and then there was this, mud showers, right? And it led to this. A whole lot of people backed up in lines at all of the car washes around the Treasure Valley. Luckily, that's a popular business in the Treasure Valley right now because our cars were a mess. Both of our cars were. Couldn't get them into the car wash today, and there were some people who yesterday washed it once and then washed it twice. Right, Shira? Am I right, Shira? Yeah, so this is what happened. We had these very gusty winds. We knew that. These are the max peak wind gusts from the last 24 hours. Actually, I don't know if I can back that up to show you where we were at yesterday. So we've taken it from 43 mile per hour wind gusts yesterday to 36 mile per hour wind gusts today in Boise, but even stronger wind through eastern Oregon yesterday. And look, that's where it's the driest, exceptional drought through the central part of Oregon and also extreme drought areas. This is the look at the current U.S. drought monitor. So what would this have to do with the mud showers? Well, it was actually the National Weather Service yesterday that they spotted this on satellite, and they said, hey, everyone, heads up. This is actually mineral dust coming from a dried lake bed in south central Oregon. And I'm going to zoom in on it, but this is just showing you that satellite loop from yesterday. And you can see those puffy clouds and some dust kind of blowing in from southwest to northeast. So this is that dry lake bed just north of that sign that says Paisley. And you can see where the lake once was, it really isn't much, there's not much left there. So a lot of that dust was blowing off. I really appreciated our babysitter. She texted me last night. She's like, but how do you know that's where it came from? And I said, well, I traced it. I didn't tell her that. I said we could see it on satellite imagery. So that's where it was coming from. And not just specifically there. It is just a testament to how dry it has been lately. And when you get these strong winds over dry land, I saw it on Idaho Weather Watcher's page yesterday. Someone said, this is kind of like the Dust Bowl, and it feels a bit like it. We even had a dust storm advisory at a time throughout the Treasure Valley yesterday afternoon. So maybe something to watch for with more of our spring storms, even some summer storms as well, because of how dry it's been. So the wind is not as active at this hour in comparison to yesterday. However, there is still a wind advisory in effect for south central Idaho and a high wind warning if you plan on heading off, south of Twin Falls, maybe toward Jackpot. Messy hair meter for tomorrow, non-issue. Maybe a little extra hairspray if you have it on hand, but if you're like me and you're not a fan of hairspray, you don't necessarily need it. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast, and I wasn't kidding. I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. It looks like I just grabbed a whole bunch of numbers and then said, that looks good. Let's put that on the internet. Yeah, so you can find this this jumble wild ride roller coaster, if you want to call it that, at ktvb.com, Shira.
Yeah, and Bree, you called me out. I did wash my car because I just couldn't stand the way it looked.
Fair.
But I knew more was coming, but I thought it'd be okay, but it wasn't. You warned me.
We have to be prepared for anything in Idaho and then reroute at the last minute.
Right. Thanks, Bree.